Well, hello. I want to take time out to say thank you for taking the time to join this live stream. This will be my official live stream that will no longer can speak. This live stream is the last one for 2022, and I hope everyone's having a good day. In the comments, let me know where you're from and what your weather's like. We just got about 3 to 4 inches of snow last night, and I just got done shoveling that. I did 3 houses and I am tired. But enough about me. Let's focus on you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask because I will try my best to answer your questions. And if I don't know the answer, I will get back with you for the reply. So, once again, thank you for joining this live stream. But today we're going to talk about, do worm farms make money? And the question for today is yes. But it's not an easy journey. There are a lot of things that you have to do. But the main thing is to do, if you want to, is to get started. What you're going to have to do is get you some worms and allow your worms to multiply. Oh, and good to have you here. Talking about worm farming and do worm farms make money? And I know that you sell worms, so if you have any tips on how to help others become successful, feel free to let me know because this community is here to help each other out. You got some hell. Okay. Yep. Owen, he is a worm farmer. He does videos. If you haven't already, check his channel out. Rancho Ray, thank you for attending. Feel free to ask questions anytime. So yeah, like I said, we're talking about worm farming in general. So I'm going to put a link right here. If you're interested, come on up if you want to share your input on worm farming. But if not, that's okay with me. Let me put that up there real quick. That's the link right there if you'd like to join. But I know with worms, the main thing you can sell with your worm farm business is you can sell worms, you can sell castings, and you can sell your worm tea. So those are the three things that are the big items for selling worms. But it's not easy. There's a lot of things you have to do. You have to find a space to have your worms. You got to have a nice environment to raise your worms. And then you're going to have to find people that will buy your worms. So you're going to have to do a little marketing. How did you get into worm farming, AJ? It's crazy. I was trying to figure out a way how to reduce my garbage. And I went on YouTube and started watching videos. And the first worm farmer that I ever watched was London's Worms and Garden. So yeah, he's the first guy that I started watching. And I noticed that worms would eat food and then they would poop it out, make the castings. And that would allow you to have compost or worm fertilizer for your garden. And that is how I got into composting. And I have never looked back since. And the thing that I noticed is that my garbage has greatly reduced. And I really enjoy how the worms can eat your food scraps. So I hope that answered your question, Owen. So a question back to you is, how did you learn about worms, become a worm farmer? Good morning, Anna. Thank you for joining the stream. I sent your gift to your son, so he should be receiving that pretty soon. So let me know when you receive that. So thank you. So Rancho Ray, I just finished preparing some breeder bins for tomorrow's harvesting. Well, that's cool. That's good to hear. Harvesting is one of the hardest things, I think, not the hardest, but the most time consuming thing to do. And with me, with my worm farms, you know that I have totes and they're damp. But how I solve that problem is I just let them air dry for a couple of days, and I'm able to sift my worm castings. So if you have your lids off of your worm bins, you have a more successful worm bin. Like for your castings, you can sift them sooner because your castings are dry. But mine are wet, and I know that that's how my system works, and just takes a few more days to harvest my castings. Yep, thank you, Nana. She's a worm farmer. She's got a lot of videos as well. So thank you for stopping by. So on average, I did a video. How long does it take you to harvest your worm castings? What I have 5 bins. 4 have a lot of worms. I have red wigglers, blues, and euros, and I just started my junk mail worm bin, which does not have a lot of worms in it right now. But on average, it takes me at least, I'd say, about 2 hours to harvest my castings. That's if I don't have any like wet castings. Everything's good to go. In a perfect world, about 2 hours. So that's how long it takes me. So how long does it take you to harvest your castings? Owen Warren Farm says, I like gardening and found that store-bought compost was expensive and regular composting was time-consuming and a lot of work. Did some research on YouTube and found out about composting with worms. Good job, Owen. Thank you for that. I mean, it's good that this community is able to share input and advice to help others out. And that's what I like. The thing about me, I got nothing to hide. When it comes to worm farming, I'll tell you what I know. And if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you that. But, there's a lot of great people in this community. You have the Garden Worm Lady. You have Mimi's Worm Farm. You have uh, Vermicast Learn by Doing. That's Patrick. AV's out there. There's Nana's Worms. There's Peggy that just stopped in. Well, hello, Peggy. Thanks for joining. Peggy does worms. She's going to come over, I guess, the day after Christmas and sift my castings. But yeah, thank you. There's a lot of great worm farmers in this community. And I'm glad that I got into worm farming, because if I never would have got into worm farming, I would never have started doing videos and never would have been able to connect with this community. So everything happens in a reason, and worms was my best thing ever. But there are a lot of other people that do worms. I'm sorry, because if I didn't give you a shout out, but there are so many. There's a Kind of Garden out there, if I got that right. There's the Worm Whisperer. There's the Worm Weirdo. There's the Urban Worm Bag. There are so many different worm farmers out there. We all have different methods of how to raise worms, but it's all good to go. And there's Brian P. He does worms as well. So that's a few people that I know of. But I want to thank you all definitely for joining the stream. I'm going to pop this up here real quick and see if anyone wants to come up here. But yeah, Peggy just got herself a nice sifter. Sorry, Santa's going to bring her a nice sifter, and I'm waiting to see the results for that. But yeah, it's crazy how we all have different methods of sifting, but there's great ways to do things, and we all are successful when it comes to worm farming. But with the worm farm business, I don't know how many worms you have to get started to start your business to sell worms. I would say you'd probably, for me, if you're going to start like tomorrow and you got customers that want to buy, I'd say you're probably going to have to invest in about, let's say, about 5 to 10 pounds and sell half those, and then keep the other half to let them multiply, and just keep waiting for your operation to become successful. But yeah, there are a lot of people that I know in this community that raise worms, and I definitely wish you all the best when it comes to your worm farming business. So if you have any questions, feel free to shout them out to me. If you want to, and if you want to see something, if it's corny or not, type in the word joke to find out what the dad jokes of the day are, and we'll see if they're good to go or not. And I'm not like trying to sell things because but my merch, it took me 3 tries to get things right. This was my first shirt that I purchased. It's the Well Hello shirt. And when I looked on, when I did the shirt the first time, it looked good on the computer, the website, but when I got it, it wasn't how I wanted it. So, but now my final shirts, they're 100% better. And if you're interested, there's a 25% off today, you know, on AJ's Green Topic merch. Check it out. If not, just look at my shirts and just let me know your thoughts, because it took me a while to actually get things right. And I do not want to do bad business with anyone. So if you're doing bad business, stop it. But I know you guys and gals aren't, because you guys are great people. And also, Nightbot just said, shout out to all my members. And I want to say that I have a few that I want to say thank you for taking the extra time out to support my channel. And I 100% believe that if you invest in someone, they should always invest back, but I always give back to this community. So thank you all for your love and support of the channel. How do you market your worms or castings, AJ? What I have done, it's just been word of mouth. I used to be embarrassed to tell people I did YouTube videos on worms, but not anymore. And they'll ask me about worms, and I'll tell them, and they're like, "Hey, can I get some for fishing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can get you some for fishing." And for me, it's just word of mouth. But for other people, they have websites. But that's the best way to go. If you do good business, Owen, which you have, and that's how things spread. So start off with word of mouth, and then after that, you can start investing more into doing your websites. So how do you market your worms, Owen? What water you use for your worms? I just use tap water. I have a water softener, but the water I use it doesn't have the salt. It's just non-filtered water, and I let it chill out for 24 hours, and I'll use a sprayer, and that's the water that I use. Some people use rainwater, but I don't use that. So what's your method, Rancho Ray? What's your method of watering your worms? Like I said, some people use rainwater. There's another person that I forgot that does worms. A few others. There's Miko's, and then there's Gardening with Bart Chuckin. So yeah, those are a few other people that I connect with. So really great community, and like I said, thank you all for being part of this. But if you have, like I said, just shoot your questions out, and I can answer them. Answer them the best that I can. Word of mouth also. Quite a few of my friends go fishing, so that was a good start. Good. Thanks for sharing. So, Owen, question for you: how did you get access to your worms? Speaking of worms, there's a Canadian worm farmer, Kathy's Crawling Composters. We do a live stream, so if you haven't, check her out, because she has a lot of knowledge on worms as well. We use well water. Well water is good, but I don't like the taste of well water. Some people can drink that, but I guess if you're born on a farm or something, then you're used to it. But the water just tastes different for me. No, I'm not saying anything bad, but some people like the taste of well water over city water. So thank you for sharing. I migrate worms through a feeding zone and pull out 50 to 70%, 75% of the castings. I either don't sift or sift to 1/3. I put the castings, including all my worms and cocoons, in a tote to age and bait worms out. Yep, the bait system is a great way to do things, and you don't have to do your castings all at one time. You can take a little bit out, like she said, and just go that way. So don't overwhelm yourself. Just spend like 20 minutes if you have to, just to do your castings. So have any of you sold your castings to friends, or do you give them away? Do you find much interest in raising worms when you do community show and tell, do you find much interest in raising worms when you do community show and tell? Yeah, what I've noticed, when I did my YMCA workshop, a lot of people, I mean, a few people came that were interested, and I was able to educate them on worms, and they're really excited. So, yeah, as long as if you can just influence or influence and encourage one person to make a difference when they start the worm farm, that's all that matters. Because a lot of us, like, say I had a workshop and I did some advertisement, and only one person came, and then I was upset because I only had one person. That's the wrong reason to be into the workshop business. See, start off with one, and then if more people come, then you become successful. But some people, if they don't have at least 50 people to come see them, which life is not about you, it's about others, then you're in a huge disappointment. But as long as I can encourage one person, like I said, that's the way to go. And sorry if my hat and shirt's backwards, but I have my camera on the mirror as me. So if you have to, you know, like if you have to put a mirror up and watch it backwards, then do it that way. But let me see what other questions I got. I looked online for outlets to sell worms here in the UK and found a nice retailer in Yorkshire where I purchased my original kit, worm tower, core, and worms. So, Owen, when did you get started worm farming? Because I know worms are more expensive now than they were in the past. And how many worms did you start with? Let's see. I've given away castings a few times. My garden can can use all the castings I produce. Yeah, that's true. And Nana, excuse me, I got a rubber nose. I do like your Gilligan turtle. That is a nice setup for raising worms. But out in the zone 5A, right now it's winter, my worms would not make it. So that's why I just keep mine in the house and use what I have. And my goal is just to stay where I'm at and not have any more worm farms. So that's enough for me. One person can change the world. Excellent advice. Thank you, Peggy. Yeah, because like I said, some people just get caught up into me, I. Like I said, if that's your mindset, you need to get out of that. So thank you for the words and the okay and the thumbs up. So let's talk about your worms. I said previously I started out with 2,000. I purchased my worms from Uncle Jim's, and my wife and family didn't want them in the house, and I lost 2,000 worms because winter came and they froze to death. And I'm thankful now that my family allows me to have them in the basement because worms do not bother you if they get on the floor. They become worm jerky. You just sweep them up and throw them in the trash. So, yep, you won't have any problems with your worms. If they, like I said, they escape, they'll dry out, and you'll be good to go. And if they're in the basement, no worries anyway, because most people don't even go in the basement. 2 years ago with the pound of worms. So, Owen, how many pounds of worms do you think you have now? And I know Owen, he raises his worms. His food source is he's using horse manure. So that's what he uses. Nana, I think you feed your worms leaves. Peggy feeds them Mickey Mouse pancakes, which is cool. So check her videos out about feeding her worms Mickey Mouse pancakes. I've given several castings and leech aid, and they are hooked. Good for you. Good for you. And Peggy also has a old school, I think it's called the can of worms, and that is a nice system. That was before the 360 and things like that ever came out. So check out her channel. She's got like a throwback uh, can of worms, and that's another great thing that she uses. And she has I think she puts her legs still inside of a cup of water, all of them, to prevent ants from coming in. So if I'm correct, if you want to share anything about your can of worms, what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best? Peggy, what do you think about your can of worms? Have 8 worm bins indoor. Oh man. She has. I have 8 worm bins indoors. No room for. Oh man. Yep. So your worms are the priority over your friends. Okay. Let's see what Peggy said. I started in 2009 with 2,000 wigglers. So Peggy, how many pounds of worms do you think you have now? But it's amazing how all of us have different systems where we raise worms, and long as your worms are alive and thriving, you're right. But if they're dying, you're doing something wrong. So if you see someone, like if you watch a video from a new person on YouTube, if you can give them some corrective advice and just say it's just my personal opinion, that'll help people out. And so yeah, try your best to help each other out because, like I says, I'm still learning. There's a lot that I have to learn, and all you guys and gals are making me a better worm farmer. So thank you for that. Oh, and I reckon I've got about 80 pounds or 8 pounds now due to worms breeding and me having built 2 big worm bins out of reclaimed wood. That's awesome. Reduce, reuse, and recycle, Owen. That's the way to do things. So and have you viewers ever used a let me see, you got a note from Nightbot. Oh, so you got, I guess you can only put one emote in. So Peggy, Nightbot kind of like mods, and so just watch out. If you want to give me like a little, just put one emoji in, but not too many, just one, and then you won't get this message. So just a heads up. So have you ever, anyone ever used like let's see, bathtubs or deep freezers to build your worm bins? Give me a second. I'm going to put something up. I'm typing something in. Give me a second. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is a good community where you don't have to really worry about the people spamming and stuff. And I noticed too, the reason why I'm doing subscribers only mode is because I think that will help to eliminate people that put the bogus spams in there. I don't want that pornographic crap or any of that. I just want a clean live stream. So if you do live streams, let me know your thoughts. I think the best way to do it would be subscribers only. So that way, like it says, would help you have a clean stream. Hey, thank you, Black Soldier Fly Larva. He's got a lot of soldier flies. That's his thing, and his soldier flies, they gobble up a lot of food scraps. Thank you, the Latin Queen of Trades. Yeah, is there anyone else here that has got involved with the black soldier flies? Because you can make some money off of that. But I just don't do those black soldier flies. I'm just strictly my red wigglers, blues, and euros. Let me see. And the last one I built was from the internal wooden doors from a friend's house, and he had some work done in his house. Well, that's cool though. So, what kind of wood? They say that you shouldn't use like treated wood, which I know you don't. Is it made out of cedar or oak or what type of wood? So, what time is it at everyone's place? Today it's 1:25 Central Time. p.m. And I did this live stream because I don't have to work today. So every now and then I can, in the winter, I can squeeze in a live stream. Excuse me. But I like to do live streams because, like I said, it gives you a chance to, be live and connect with the community. Try to find out what people do, how they're doing, how their lives going, and how their worms or their black soldier flies are doing. If you're really interested in starting a worm farm, there's two channels that I would say to check out is the Garden Worm Lady because she shares what she does, and also check out Mimi's Worm Farm because she shares information on how to become successful and start a worm business. She's in the process of doing a warehouse, but I'm not going to tell you everything. You have to check out her channel. And also, if you like someone's channel, go and subscribe to it, which you are subscribers, but on the live stream, the live replay, if you like someone's channel, subscribe to them. Subscribes are free, and it gives you a chance to just support their channel. Okay, 7:25 in the evening. So you're, let's see, 6 hours, whatever the math. So it's nighttime there, daytime here. This is crazy how we all live in different environments and stuff. So with live streams, it's hard to 2:15. Yeah, you're an hour ahead of me. I'm in the Midwest, Peggy, and you're in Florida. And your weather, I'm gonna guess, is probably in the 70s. We're in the 30s today. We got some snow last night, and I just shoveled three people's house. I did my place. I went to my mother-in-law's, and a neighbor asked me, and I used his snowblower and did his place. Body's tired, but sometimes you just got to step out of your, forget about you and go the extra mile. I do a weekly worm chat Tuesdays at 4 p.m. She's using Zoom, okay? I send the link through Facebook Messenger. We do show and tell. Well, I have a, if you want to, Peggy, come to my page. It's on Facebook. It's the Yes I Have Worms community. Go and join that, and I'll join yours so I can check yours out, and we can go that route. It's the Yes I Have Worms on Facebook. So thank you for everyone that's joining that community. And the thing about me, always leave comments, questions, and concerns because we need each other, and that's what helps us grow. Okay. Northern Illinois. Okay. Thank you for joining, Cynthia. Pleasure to meet you. Cynthia, do you raise worms? Had some snow here about 3 hours ago. Okay. JJ, what's up, AJ? I'm having issues getting sales on Amazon. I got so many worms and castings, it's ridiculous. I got many posts and still no luck. I'm not sure what to do now. I have price matched all. So, what type of worms do you try to sell, JJ? And also, if you have questions, I would say go to Mimi's Worm Farm because she sells worms on Amazon, so she has a lot more feedback and information that I could share. So I would definitely connect with her. And she also has a Get to Know Me live stream on Sunday. Thank you, TK, for stopping by. I have two bathtubs that I use for vermicomposting. So I've been asking this question: how many pounds of worms do you think you have going? 74 degrees, nice and toasty, Peggy. So JJ, question for you. You said you have red wigglers. What got you started in trying to sell worms off of Amazon? Do you sell worms locally, or what is your method? Because I'd like to just find out what you're doing to promote your business and connect with Amazon to get started. Well, put a code in there. Give me 1 second. Let me go out here for a second. Okay. I'm still here. Like I said, let me just check something out real quick. Okay. Okay. I would guess it. Sweet. So you have about 8 pounds of worms. So what do you feed your worms? Do you give them more cardboard, paper, hay, straw? What is your method of feeding your worms there, TK? Yeah, like it says, JJ, the thing about worms, it's hard to get things started on Amazon, I guess, but word of mouth is the best way to start out with. But like I said, check out Mimi's Worm Farm and ask her questions because she can help you if you have any questions on that. Like I said, she has worms on Amazon that she sells as well. Sorry, technical difficulties. Two Ben's here, new hobby. People think I'm cray cray. I love them. Yep, people think we're all crazy, but we're normal to each other. So yeah, what type of worms do you raise, Cynthia? And how long have you been started? You said you just started. Are you new? And what system do you have? Do you use toads, vermibag, or what? Touch base and let us know. So yeah, I mean, it's a great start to, like I said, get things started with worms. And can think yeah, they think we're crazy, but yeah, but when people actually find out what worms are able to do and the benefits of worms, that definitely changes things up for people. So yeah, thank you for getting started. That's the main thing. If you don't start, you'll never know what you can and can't do. Besides me of freezing my worms, has anyone had problems of their worms dying in the past when you first started? And if so, how did you kill your worms? My nose is itchy. Someone's talking about me. That's what they always say. I've spoken to her personally, but still no luck. I guess it's just a waiting game. I got 4 different varieties of worms and over 10 large bins. Wow, that's a lot of worms. Thank you for sharing that. Veggie scraps, I use cardboard and newspaper. Okay, sweet. No, I do not have any experience with Canadian night crawlers. And I've said before that Canadian night crawlers are scary to me. They're big worms. But if you would have to learn more about Canadian night crawlers, another shout out to start about is YT Davy Gardens. She's in she lives in Canada and she would know more about Canadians than I would. So touch base with YT Davy Garden. So Cynthia, where did you get your red wigglers from? I don't sell Nana's Worms and Garden. I don't sell worms and castings, but my worm farming saves me lots of money. We don't buy fertilizer, and our garden is healthier and more productive. And speaking of that, we were thinking about what's the best way, or just strictly worm castings. And another guy, check him out, Captain Matt. He does worms, and he has videos on just using straight worm castings in his garden. And man, his crops are huge. So yeah, check him out too, Captain Matt. I keep manure, but a cold manure for my worms. I keep manure, but a cold manure for letting my worms warm during cold temps. Well, sweet. Do you use like horse manure or cow manure? Rabbit? What do you use? They say they are good in cooler climates, and that's what I was told. And I think, yeah. So yeah, I have never experienced any Canadian night crawlers around here, so I apologize. But yeah, the worms that I noticed that I'm able to buy are the blues, euros, and the red wigglers. I don't do African night crawlers because it is too cold here, but The thing I like about African night crawlers is that they are a pretty worm, and they're long and they're big. And speaking of that, if you want to keep your worms big, keep feeding them worm chow. My worm bins, I don't give them worm chow. It's strictly food, but I can make them some worm chow and make them big and thick. Okay. This is what I would like you to do is to, if you have a YouTube channel and you have worms, if you have active YouTube channel, let me know, and that way we can help you and you can help us. But I know a lot of people don't have YouTube channels. Some people just watch and just go from there. But yeah, if you got information you want to share it, feel free to shoot it out. Manure is good for use as food and bedding in the cooler months of the year. So, does it smell? It's got to be stinky, I'm guessing. Let me know. I mean, because I know if you go to a farm, it doesn't smell bad. It has more of that straw hay smell. But so, what are your thoughts, Owen? What does it? Is it a bad odor or what? Because, like I said, I don't know anything about that. I'm just strictly still city life. I just use those food scraps, cardboard, newspaper. I've used Coco Core when I got it with my kit, but I'm not a huge Coco Core user. Other people use it, but I know I have access to cardboard and newspaper, and that's what I use because I have a lot of supply of that. But some countries don't even have access to cardboard. That's crazy. We get so many boxes of Amazon and everything around here. I use cold manure, which is goat and rabbit, unlike a hot manure, which would be cow or horse. A cold manure will not kill my worms. Yep. I know a lot of people that said rabbit manure is good. Oh yeah, that's right, Latin. I know that's right. You do have a YouTube channel. And speaking of that, I've noticed that you let me know in the comments. You subscribe to people, and the next thing you know, you're unsubscribed. And when they leave a comment on a video, you go back and you find out you're unsubscribed and you're resubscribed to them. Have you experienced that? Because if I subscribe to your channel, I have not unsubscribed. There's something going on. I don't know what it is. But if you haven't seen someone's channel for a while, go back and check out their channel because it probably unsubscribed you. What are your thoughts on that? Just throwing a rant and rave out real quick. For the first week or two, it does smell, but when the worms and microbes get working on it, the smell does disappear lightly. Okay, thank you for sharing. We use our food worms for food scraps waste management. Yep, my worms eat about 2 to 250 pounds a month. My black soldier flies 1 ton in 3 weeks. Wow. So, what made you get into black soldier flies? And you keep them in your house? Do you have problems of them trying? Do they fly once they become adults? What? Break it down to me about the stages of a soldier fly. Because my friend Dewey, he had a black soldier fly farm, but in the Midwest, with the weather and all things like that, it makes it hard to raise worms in the Midwest. But where do you live, Black Soldier Fly Farm? And tell us a few tips and tricks on how you're successful with your worm farm or your black soldier flies. I'm gonna go out and try to put this word in real quick. Let's see. Um, let's see. Let me see. I'm here. I'm just trying to figure something out. Okay. I'm going to put this word in. You type that word in, I'm able to ship you a sticker. I'm going to draw a random name since you guys and gals are here for so long to give you a sticker. And how it's going to work is I can ship it anywhere from the US around the world because I'm able to get a stamp to send you a sticker. So put sticker in there and I will send you a sticker. And once I get your name, what I need you to do is to go to my um, merch store, pick out the sticker that you want, and I will send that sticker to your house. So there's plenty of stickers to choose from. Like I said, type in this word, and I will draw a name within 5 minutes. So you have 5 minutes on the live stream to get a chance to win a sticker of your choice. You have to have a valid address, so don't be putting your name up there if you don't have an address. But I know you guys and gals are great in this community. I watch several channels and hit the black bell so I get all of the videos. But I notice that occasionally I have to check on them because I'm not getting prompts. Exactly, and I agree. So, yep, like I said, I will give you a few more minutes. At exactly, let me see, 1:45, I will, or in 3 minutes, I will put a name. We'll roll it and see who won. And you get a chance to choose a sticker of your choice just for spending time with me in the community today. Like I said, the word is sticker. So did you guys like get your stuff ready for? Are you guys and gals ready for Christmas? I still got stuff I got to get. Working on it, getting things done. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. And I don't use credit cards if it's got to be cash or debit. Back in the day, credit cards got me in trouble, so I'm credit card free. AJ, have you thought about going commercial? For me, I'd have to say no because I don't have the room and I don't have the time. It's just with life, I'm busy, and like I says, it's a huge investment. Like I says, if I lived on a farm or something, yeah, it'd be different. But nope, my worms are just in the basement, and I just don't have the room. So, Ray Rancho, what about you? Are you ever thinking about going commercial, or viewers in this live stream, are you thinking about going commercial? But yeah, it's really great that you guys and girls are taking time out of your busy day to stop by and do a live stream. And what do I do for a living? Okay, I'm a worm farmer on the side, and I've had a few jobs. A couple jobs I wasn't really happy with. There was no growth for me. But what I do now is I pour concrete. I drive a mixer and deliver concrete and pour it. I I like the construction business because mostly when I'm in my mixer, I'm by myself. I have time to think. I have time to get a little road rage with all these crazy drivers. Um, but yeah, I pour concrete, and that's what I've been doing. And I have a birthday coming up. Just a plug out there, but I'll be 53 in December 12th. And another thing that I know, I was just thinking today. I did a video on what do you do when a worm farm ends. I don't know. It's like when you get older, things change. You're not able to lift, pull, and bend like you used to. And when my worm farming journey ends, I'm planning on just probably donating them to someone, probably to my YMCA or something, because I still want to throw them in the ground. I want someone, hopefully, that's successful to raise the worms. So that's what I plan on doing with my worms. And like I says, I'll be 53. And thank you for the birthday wishes. I have to harvest 4 indoor bins before Christmas and move all my worm bins and casting totes to our bedroom before our visitors. Yeah, so yeah, good luck with that, Nana. All right, let me draw a name and see who won the sticker real quick. We're gonna roll it, and it says Ray Rancho. Ray Rancho won the giveaway. So congratulations, Ray Rancho. That's one. So Ray Rancho, you reach out to me. You go on my website from a merch and pick out your sticker and let me know what you want, and I'll mail it to you. Another thing too is when you get your sticker, just tag me because I want to see what it looks like. It took, like it says with my merch, it took me three times to figure things out and mix and choose, but now everything's good to go, and I'm happy with that. And I want to say thank you, Nana, for winning a previous giveaway, and you know, wish you the best with your channel. But what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna wait a few more minutes and see if anyone has any other questions, feedback or anything, and we'll go from there. But I want to try to just give us an hour of Q&A and community time, and so that way we can get things done that we have to get done. And I know some of you guys and girls have getting ready for bed or dinner, so will anyone be feeding their worm scraps from the Christmas dinner? I probably won't. But what I can do, when it comes to like say you have your canned corn or something, if you go to the grocery store, you can feed them the canned corn. Just pour out the juice, and they don't have a problem with the salt or anything. But a lot of us are just fresh fruits and veggies. So, and for Christmas, I'm probably gonna go to my sister-in-law's house and spend time with them. So hopefully, I won't have any leftovers to feed my worms. They're looking at me. So, but we're planning on doing some turkey and ham. Turkey's my favorite. And speaking of that, do you put meat inside of your worm bins? And speaking of that, another person, plant plant planet obsess. She feeds her worms meat, and if you want to know about that, check it out. But I don't put meat in my worm farms. They're not deep enough, and I don't want to take any risk of having any bugs in my house, because if I do that, that'd definitely be a no. My wife would probably have me throw them outside. So, question for you: Do you did you have issues when you first wanted to do worms? Was your spouse, partner, or whatever like, heck no, that's not going to happen? Or was everything peachy? And how did it work out for you to get your worms started? And, let me know what your feedback is on that. I put ground up bones from bone broth in my garden and worm tower. So how do you grind up your bones? Well, I'm gonna okay. I do I do put some meat in, but as with anything else, I put in small doses. Yep, small is the way to go. You always have to put in less. But I'm going to shoot this up. Here's the link if anyone wants to join for the next few minutes. Click on this, and then we'll call it good. But we'll shoot for another 10 minutes. Have this for about an hour, and like I says, have everyone enjoy their busy schedule and life. Yeah, I think worm farming, they're one of the best pets. Besides, I have a cat. I used to not like cats. I thought cats weren't smart. Cats are smart. Just act like they're not. Um, but worms, I'm telling you, they're the best pets I ever had. But but it is crazy how when we first started, people thought we were like weird to have worms, and then, like I said, once you get your worms started and you find out the benefits, life's great. No, I have never done a cocoon nursery, AJ, and the reason for me that I don't do that is because I want my worms now. I want them to start eating food and food scraps now, and I want my castings now, and that's why I don't do that. People have done worm cocoons, which I'm glad that you do it, but for me, I don't have time. I want my worms to start eating now, so that's why I don't do cocoons. I have a Nutra Ninja to blend bones, as my worms are in the shed, and I have no issue with my wife, and she never uses the shed. So the shed's kind of your man cave. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh gosh. So do you anyone in here have kids? Speaking of that, Clive's condominiums does worms, so another plug. Thank you, Peggy, for stopping by. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you're into. But I hope Santa brought you the best gift that you ever wanted. But yeah, thank you everyone for taking the time out to come and check out this live stream. Like I says, I will sit here for a couple minutes and see if anything else comes through, and if not, we will call it a day. But I just want to say in advance, like it says, whatever you believe. If you don't believe, Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever else is out there. I just want you to have a great holiday and a definitely Happy New Year. So since there's no more questions going on, I just want to take the time out to say thank you all for watching. Ray, make sure that you shoot me your email and your address so I can mail you the sticker of your choice. But I'm looking forward to doing more YouTube videos and going from there. Oh yeah, that's right. I started my channel essentially for my 5-year-old granddaughter, and that's awesome. And speaking of that, before we end, a lot of kids aren't scared of things. It's the things that we do to make people fear things. So when you get worms and you have your kids involved early, there's no problem whatsoever. But yeah, we got to stop telling kids if something's scary or not. We got to let them decide for themselves what their phobias are. So thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I just want to take time out to say thank you all for watching this live stream. Share this out if you know anyone that's interested. Check out some videos. Check out other people in this chat that have worm farm community channels or YouTube channels or Facebook channels. Check them out. You can catch me on my email. You can catch me on my videos. You can also check me out on my Yes I Have Worms Facebook community. So there's many ways to touch base. Feel free to always ask me questions. Like it says, if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you. And if I can give you advice, I will steer you in the right direction. But have a great day, everyone. Thank you for your time. Bye.